I see Tareed talking about users, customers, audiences, right? So, we are dealing with the complexity of systems that have a lot of teamwork and interrelationships involved. And they all, at the end of the day, need to address content out to customers in a way that it makes their interactions coherent. So maybe this would be a good place for us to come full cycle. There are some other questions in here from the audience. Christopher's talking about the challenges of automatic tagging versus assisted, tagging and basically getting human beings to tag properly so that the mess is contained. Same thing with machines. We need to get machines to tag properly. And I think that might, and then Ray was asking about how the English language ports over to other languages. So there's also the language dimension, which is, so we're localizing our omnichannel experiences, right? So content is getting fragmented more and more because we now need variants for localized versions of it, all related to the same topics. And ideally, they're sharing a semantic model. Those questions are great, but we're at time. Why don't we bring it back to the customer focus? And I'd love to give everybody as close to a 3-sentence version of an answer to this question as possible, and we'll go round robin, and then put a bow on this incredible conversation about content and technology for omnichannel. And the question is this: our customers matter, and therefore the content that we create for those customers has to be delivered in coherent ways. What is the relationship between the technology that we have talked about today and the complexity we have to embrace when dealing with that technology and the customer experience? So let's start. Aaron, if you could start us off on that again.
Sure. I think the most important consideration, and thanks to Cheer for that question. It's a great one. It really does all start with customer. And I think the benefits of structured connected content, omnichannel content approach is that you get to start with that question because you're designing content products. You're not restricted by whatever your CMS is giving. So what information does the customer need or would otherwise be of benefit to them in the environment in which you're consuming it, right? And that's the omnichannel. The last thing is the omnichannel part of that. So in an omnichannel universe, you're not only looking at customer wants and needs, but also needs specific to their to where they're actually consuming that content, because that's going to be a lot different if they're listening to something versus looking at their watch versus reading an ebook, right? Can be all the same content, but those needs are going to be different depending on those consumption environments.
Thank you. Thank you much. Coraline.
Yes, I think you can skip a whole lot of problems by starting a chatbot, because this you can place it anywhere in the customer journey. So it's where your customer is. You can have a conversation with the customer anywhere you like on digital touch points. So there you really have the input you need to make kick-ass content, because you're just directly helping them or informing them. So I would say pick your conversation at the right time, and then it's always user-centric.
Beautiful. Thank you. Michael.
So I think for us, it comes down to what do we're basically restructuring our entire sort of content system, starting with the website, but that is informing everything else around customer needs. So when I talk about sort of having sort of content classified by subject, that taxonomy of subjects is actually a taxonomy of what people are looking for. It's not what do we have, it's what do they need. So it's questions that have a significant search volume, that are correlated to areas where we have expertise or ability to help. And so effectively, our topic-oriented architecture is a customer-oriented architecture. And as long as the more we learn about a specific customer, the more we can sort of map them to that interest space and help connect them to the content that will help them. We also have a set of interests around products that we sell, and that matters as people enter the evaluation stage of their journey and beyond that into usage. And we're consolidating all of that around the product. So there's a singular home for product information where you can sort of maintain your experience with the company throughout that sort of your life cycle of interest with the product. So topics and products, new customers, existing customers, what they care about is what we deliver. The metadata around subject connects that interest to content instances across every channel.
Chris.
Everything we do in our content ecosystem is to deliver the best experience to players, whether that's in-game content or around game content. So we take all that complexity and we drive that through, right, player needs and wants and the player customer journey lifecycle, right? But we also, from a content operations perspective, we also define users as content editors and content authors. You can create the best semantic models, right, and relationship, but if you can't design authoring systems that allow that content to be loaded, you don't get anywhere.
And Noz.
Thank you very much. I want to kind of agree with Coraline, but maybe in a way disagree, that I think that the point of all this for the customer is to reunify a brand and enable them to have conversations. But when we say omnichannel, it's taking that to the full scale. So can I have interactions, a dialogue with this brand in the big sense of dialogue, using all the touch points and get answers. And the only way to do that is to unbreak all our content. It's broken because we save it in systems that don't know what it means. They don't understand it. So when we ask the system a question, it can't give us an intelligent answer. So all we're trying to do is give the systems the similar kind of understanding of the content that we have so that it can answer more intelligent questions and participate in a more intelligent dialogue.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you, everybody. It is making systems more human. So all of this tech stuff and all of the stuff we have to deal with putting people and process together, at the end of the day, it's making systems more intelligent, more human, able to meet the needs of customers in their contexts across their channel, across the different channels and touch points that they want to interact with us in. And that is, I think, probably one of the most interesting challenges on the planet. We have many interesting challenges on this planet Earth, but unifying our knowledge in a coherent way to deliver these experiences intelligently is certainly one of them. And every one of our panelists is working on that very noble challenge. Thank you, Noz. And thank you to all of our panelists today. We really appreciate the audience questions and how all of this came together as part of the amazing Omnichannel X program. Thanks, everybody.
To listen in on the full roundtable conversation and others, plus get access to more exclusive insight about omnichannel customer experiences, join the content order for free at simpleA.com.